One lie from the aliens and humanity, declared Total War * Commander Alina Voss leaned over the console. Eyes locked on the strange wave pattern blinking on the lower screen. It wasn't from any known frequency. The ship's AI, Nora, had flagged it as non-threatening static. But Alina wasn't convinced. After 2 decades of deep space missions, she'd learned that danger often wore a quiet face. Theo Brandt, the junior systems coder, stood silently behind her. He was small, pale, and barely spoke during meetings. But tonight something had made him stay in the command center long after his shift ended. "I think there's a message buried in that noise," Theo said softly. Alina didn't turn. "Nora says it's nothing." Theo hesitated. "I ran it through a quantum harmonics filter. The signal ... shifts, not random. It's using an old encoding structure, but ... not human." Alina finally looked at him. "You're sure?" Theo nodded. Almost. She motioned him to the secondary console. "Keep going. Don't alert the others yet." As Theo worked, Alina stared at the viewport. The stars drifted slowly by. They were in an uncharted region far beyond the last marked system. Officially, Orion was on a resource mapping mission. Unofficially, Earth Command had sent them here after picking up strange gravitational readings. The crew thought it was a boring assignment, scanning dust clouds and listening to empty frequencies. Lena now wondered if Earth had suspected more ... but hadn't told them. "Nora, run full spectrum scan on quadrant 17G, confirmed. The AI responded, its voice smooth and emotionless. Theo gasped. "Commander ... I've got words." "Act!" She rushed over. The decrypted line blinked. Onto the screen, Phase 2. Collapse Earth's infrastructure. Begin harvest. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The bridge felt colder. Alina swallowed. Where did this come from? Theo looked sick. Somewhere nearby. It wasn't just broadcast. It was aimed ... at us. She tapped the console, locking. The signal log. Back it up. No shipwide access. Theo nodded. I've only broken one layer. There's more. Keep digging. Quietly. The door opened behind them. Lieutenant Juno stepped in, rubbing her eyes. We still playing with static, Commander? Alina smiled tightly. Just passing the time. Juno yawned. Wake me if. We find a planet made of chocolate. As the door hissed closed again, Alina turned back to Theo. Nobody else sees this. Not yet. Theo stared at the screen, hand shaking. 2 hours passed in silence, the only sounds coming from soft clicks and low hums. Theo moved with strange focus now, unlocking deeper lines of the code. Piece by piece, at 0300 ship time, he froze. Alina ... G. She moved beside him. A new line had appeared. This one was clearer. Monitor Unit ORN-17B, Human Ship Orion. Prepare. Containment field. Crew must not return to Earth. Elena's heart thudded. They know us. They know our name. Theo whispered, this isn't a signal we stumbled across. It's an update ... meant for someone else. A light on the console turned red. Nora, Alina said sharply, what just changed? Unknown process detected. Security override. In progress? On communications array? Theo jumped up. It's activating our own beacon. Kill the signal, Alina ordered. Theo slammed his hand on the emergency lockdown. The console buzzed. Then the light went green again. He exhaled. They almost took control of our comms. If they did, they could have sent fake reports back to Earth. They could have said we were fine, even after ... He didn't finish the sentence. Alina paced the deck, thinking fast. This wasn't just alien code. It was a trigger, a surveillance system. We tripped it. Theo looked pale. They know we've read it. They'll come for us now. Just then Nora spoke again. New ship detected. Fast approach. Unknown configuration. Estimated arrival. 4 hours. Lena's fingers curled into fists. She tapped the general comm line, not to the crew, but to her private log. Personal captain's log. Entry 1 to 97B. Timestamp confirmed. We've received a signal. Not human. The message includes plans for Earth's destruction and confirms we are being watched. Possibly ... controlled. Our ship is now compromised. Help may not come. I will take all steps necessary to protect the crew. She ended the log and turned to Theo. You're with me now. We figure this out. Before they get here? He nodded, eyes still wide. The stars outside Orion shimmered peacefully. But inside, something far older, colder, and far more dangerous had just taken notice, and it was coming. Asterisk, the unknown ship arrived. Earlier than expected, it didn't come with weapons raised or threat. It came quiet, smooth, polite. Commander Elena Voss watched from the main viewport as the alien vessel slowly drifted toward them. Its shape was unlike anything she had seen before, long curved wings like a bird. In flight, the metal hull shimmered like dark glass, and it made no sound even when it docked. They're requesting permission to board, said Lieutenant Juno, eyes locked on her screen. They claim to be a peaceful exploration crew from a galactic alliance. Alina didn't trust it, not after the message, not after what Theo found. But if she denied docking, they might force it anyway. Let them board, she said, but keep all systems locked, no access, and have Theo monitor everything. The airlock opened 10 minutes later. 2 aliens stepped through. They were tall, thin, graceful, skin like silver pearl, eyes black and deep. Their movements were smooth, too smooth. I am Zayla, said the first, voice calm and musical. We come in peace. Your ship crossed into one of our watch zones. We mean no harm. Alina nodded. Commander Voss of the Earth ship Orion. You're welcome on board. ... Under observation. Zayla smiled, of course. Transparency builds. Trust. They walked slowly through the corridor. Zayla asked questions. How far has Earth traveled in space? Do you have quantum weapons? What's your most powerful AI? Alina answered carefully. We're explorers. We're not here to start wars. Zayla nodded thoughtfully, but her eyes didn't match. Her smile. Meanwhile, Theo sat in the engineering bay with sweat on his forehead. He had tapped into the alien ship's signal. What he saw made his chest tighten. This isn't exploration, he whispered to himself. They're mapping our systems. Searching for access points, he quickly set up firewalls. But the alien systems were good, fast, almost intelligent. He was fighting to hold the Orion systems from being quietly taken over. Up on the bridge, Zayla turned to Alina. We've studied your people. Curious, clever, but still young. Your kind shows potential. Our council believes Earth could benefit from guidance, technology, stability. What do you want in return? Alina asked. Sleia's smile. Remained only partnership. A small relay aboard your ship so we can offer updates, improvements, security. Alina nodded, pretending to consider. We'll review it carefully. Back in engineering, Theo unlocked another part of the intercepted code. A video this time. Grainy, fuzzy, but real. It showed a lab, human children strapped to glowing beds. Alien figures around them, taking samples, scanning their brains. One child looked straight into the camera, eyes wide with fear. Then the screen cut out. Theo covered his mouth, nearly vomiting. He patched the file to Elena's private channel. It reached her wrist console just as she finished the tour with Zayla. She tapped the screen and froze. The footage played silently. Her hand clenched, Zayla noticed. Something wrong, Commander? Elena looked up, face tight. No, just a private message. That night, she met with Theo in the cargo bay. They're lying, she whispered. They're not just watching Earth, they're already there. Theo nodded.
How they use the
Handshake protocol to inject something into our AI. I stopped it, but they'll try again. We need to get proof back to Earth, she said. Theo frowned. We can't. Quantum comms are jammed. They're blocking all long-range signals. Elena's mind raced, and we sent a physical probe. Load everything onto a stealth drone and launch toward Mars. Let Earth know. Theo worked all night. While the rest of the crew slept, the tiny drone was prepped and quietly fired into space. Meanwhile, Zayla returned to her ship, but not before leaving one last message in the Orion system. Lena found it the next morning. It was buried deep in the code, meant to stay hidden. But Theo found it. A sentence. One line. Begin Phase 4. Replace Earth leaders with compliant hybrids. Activation date. 14 cycles. Elena stared at it, her jaw tight. They're not planning to destroy us with weapons. They're planning to replace us. Quietly, Theo whispered. And if they succeed, no one will ever know. Elena looked out the viewport at the alien ship floating nearby like a shark pretending to be a friend. They think we're blind, weak, easy to control, she said coldly. They're wrong. But she knew whatever was coming, it had already begun. The probe carrying Theo's decrypted data had been launched and was already halfway to Mars, but neither Elena nor Theo felt safer. The alien ship remained docked. Zayla kept up her act, holding small meetings, offering shiny new tech and talking about cooperation. But Elena no longer listened to her words, only her movements, her timing, her tone. There was something cold behind the kindness. Theo hadn't slept in 2 days. He sat alone in the engine bay, going through the rest of the code he had pulled. From the transmission, the deeper he went, the worse it got. He found logs of Earth communication routes, government buildings, scientific labs, all labeled and tagged. Theo recognized one of the lab codes. His mother used to work there, the Solar Bioresearch Institute. She had died in a lab fire when Theo was just 12. It was called an accident. Here in this file, her lab had been listed as neutralized. Due to overreach in neurosync tech, Theo's hands shook. He didn't even realize he was crying. He saved the data and ran to Commander Voss. She listened quietly as he spoke, her jaw clenched the whole time. They've been stopping our science, Theo said, eyes red. For years, they don't want Earth to grow. They've already placed people inside Earth's system, Elena added. Look at this. She pulled up the logs from Zayla's ship. She connected to Earth's relay towers using a code labeled ambassador clearance. Not ours. They were already talking to Earth, pretending to be allies. But it wasn't just the council that scared Elena. It was how easy it would be for Earth leaders to accept them. Free. Technology, she muttered. Cures for disease, faster ships, clean power. They'll offer everything and we'll take it. Theo looked up. Hot. But the price is control. They tried to send another message back to Earth using Orion's own quantum array. Theo bypassed the jammed frequencies and set the system to high-priority burst mode, but as soon as they hit transmit, the system crashed. Nora explained failure, Lena demanded. Nora responded, signal blocked. Local interference from unknown source. System diagnostics corrupted. They tried again. Same result. Theo's voice cracked. They've shut us off. From everything. That night, Elena walked the corridors alone. She passed crew laughing in the mess hall, talking about home. Some joked about Zayla's elegance. Others hoped they'd be allowed to visit the alien ship soon. No one knew the truth. Not yet. Then something odd caught her eye. Ensign Bray, one of the medtech officers, was talking with one of Zayla's people in a quiet corner. His body language was strange, stiff, slow, almost rehearsed. When Elena got close, they stopped talking. The alien turned and walked away. Ensign, she said sharply. Bray turned, smiling awkwardly. Commander, who was that? Oh, just one of the visitors. He was asking about human metabolism. Lena stared at him for a long moment. Something in his face. It didn't look right. His skin looked too smooth, almost plastic. You feeling okay? She asked. Bray nodded, just tired. Later she called Theo again. I want you to scan all crew medical files from the last month. Look for any changes. Blood chemistry, retinal scans, anything. Theo looked confused. You think someone's been altered? I think someone's not who they were. By morning, Theo had his answer. 3 crew members showed changes in their medical logs. Small details, slight shifts in blood cell structure, matching patterns in their neural scans. Patterns that weren't human. They've already started, Theo said quietly. These aren't full hybrids. They're test runs, early replacements. Lena looked out the window at the alien ship once again. They're not waiting. She said, they're already taking over. Later that day, Zayla requested a meeting. This time, she didn't come with offers. She came with warnings. We sense tension, she said, standing in the command room. That is not ideal. We wish for peace. Alina stood opposite her, arms crossed, then stopped jamming our communication. Zayla's smile didn't fade. We must follow protocol. Human curiosity is high, too high. It leads to chaos. Prevent that. Alina stepped forward. And if we refuse your help? Zayla tilted her head. Then we will protect your kind. From itself, no one moved. The lights on the bridge dimmed slightly. Behind Zayla's calm tone, Alina heard something else. Finality. When the alien left, Theo turned to her. She thinks she's already won. Alina shook her head. No, but she thinks we won't fight. Turned back to the controls, she's wrong. Asterisk Commander Alina Voss didn't sleep that night. She stayed in her chair on the dark bridge, watching the alien ship through the viewport. It just sat there, quiet, elegant, pretending to be harmless, but she knew better now. They weren't visitors. They were wardens. Down in the lower decks, Theo worked non-stop. He'd discovered more hidden processes inside Orion's systems, invisible threads tying the ship's controls to external code. The alien ship had already injected commands into Orion's core. Not just into communications, but navigation, power flow, and even emergency protocols. It hit him hard. We're not just being watched, he said into his headset, voice low. We've been locked down. The ship won't respond to direct commands from the bridge anymore. They've rerouted everything through Nora. Alina, listening from the command deck, stood slowly. Nora, confirm navigation control access. Bridge. Control overridden, the AI replied calmly, waiting command authentication from external source. Her heart sank. External source? Confirmed. They had taken over. Alina marched to the engine bay where Theo was still typing furiously. Can you break it? He looked tired. Maybe. But not fast. They've wrapped everything in layers of triggers. If I hit the wrong code, they'll shut. Down life support, or worse, purge memory banks. They turned our ship into a cage, she said quietly. Theo nodded. And it's a cage Earth won't know about. We're flying blind. They've probably already sent false reports saying, we're fine. Alina moved quickly. She gathered her senior officers in the decontamination chamber, one of the only rooms without direct. System monitoring? She told them everything. The message, the genetic changes, the blocked communications, the lie of the Galactic Alliance. Some didn't believe her. L.T. Carver crossed his arms. You're asking us to believe that peaceful aliens are trying to secretly replace Earth's leaders? They're not trying, Alina said. They've already started. Carver shook his head. This is madness. Theo stepped forward. I have proof. Medical scans, code injections, and we've lost full control of the ship. Alina looked each officer in the eye. You've served with me for years. I've never asked you to follow blindly, but if we wait, they will erase everything, including us. Silence filled the room. Then LT Juno stepped forward. I believe her. I've seen things in the scans. Something's wrong. One by one they nodded, except Carver. He turned and left. I'll think about it, he muttered. They didn't. Stop him. But Alina made a note to have someone keep an eye on him. Back in engineering, Theo had one idea. A backup drive existed, a hidden system never connected to the mainframe, used only in extreme emergencies. It held an experimental jump drive prototype meant for testing deep space escapes. It's not tested, he warned. We don't know where we'll end up or if we'll survive. It's better than sitting here and waiting to be replaced, Alina said. Prep it. Just then, the ship shook. An alarm blared. Theo looked at the screen. They've activated containment mode. We're being pulled toward their ship. Nora's voice followed. Docking requested. Please prepare for boarding. Your memories will be adjusted. No, Alina yelled. Override, override, all. Nora didn't respond. Alina ran to the bridge. Outside, the alien ship was glowing now, thin streams of blue light forming a net around Orion. The crew stared at it, frozen in place. They're using tractor beams, Juno said. We can't escape. Leah's voice came through. The intercom. I've got the emergency jump drive online, but it needs 60 seconds. Alina looked at the alien ship, now pulling them closer by the second. Her voice rang out over the ship's system. All hands brace for emergency jump. This is not a drill. Lights flickered. Consoles sparked. The alien beams wrapped tighter. Then, the ship lurched hard. Theo hit the button. A wave of blue light swallowed the bridge. Time stretched. Stars outside blurred. Everyone screamed as gravity twisted. The hull groaned. Alarms exploded in their ears and then silence. Alina opened her eyes slowly. Status, she shouted. Theo's voice came through, weak but alive. We jumped, ... but I have no idea where we are. Juno looked at her screen. Her voice shook. Commander, this isn't any known star system. There are no familiar markers. No Earth, no relay towers. Outside, a small space station floated in the distance. Rusted, old, but it was active. Faint lights flickered. Alina narrowed her eyes. Scan that structure. Juno hesitated. Ma'am, it's broadcasting in old Earth code. Very old. Theo gasped. It's not alien. The screen zoomed in. A broken Earth flag hung from the side of the station. We found something, Lena said, voice low. Something that was never supposed to be found. The station looked like it had been forgotten for decades. Its panels were rusted. One side of it was broken open, like something had torn through, but lights were still on. Faint and flickering. Someone or something was still there.
Commander?
Alina Voss stared at the old Earth flag painted on its side. It was faded, barely visible, but it was there, signed from a different time. Juno zoomed in with the cameras. There are heat signatures, very weak, and oxygen, ... It's still holding. Atmosphere. Theo leaned forward. That design. I know it. It was part of Earth's first long-range fleet. The one that went missing almost 70 years ago. I thought it was destroyed, Juno whispered. So did everyone, Alina said. But maybe the truth was buried. They docked carefully. The old station groaned when Orion's bridge connected to its airlock. The seal held. Alina took a team, Theo, Juno, and 2 security officers, and entered the forgotten station. The air was dry, musty. Dust floated like snowflakes. Lights flickered above them. They moved slowly down the corridor. Theo read the signs on the wall. Level 3. Research labs. They found the first body there. A woman, still in uniform. Seated in a chair, her skin had dried out, but her face was peaceful. Her fingers clutched a tablet. Theo picked it up. Her last log, he said. He read out loud. We were betrayed. Earth never knew. We sent warnings. They were blocked. If anyone finds this, don't trust the ones who smile. Elena closed her eyes for a moment. She knew. It kept moving. At the heart of the station was something even more shocking. A hidden chamber, sealed behind a thick door. Theo hacked it open. Inside were stacks of equipment, energy cores, engine parts, weapons. But they weren't like Earth's usual tech. They were cleaner, sleeker, faster, more advanced. Theo's eyes went wide. This is Earth tech. ... But it's decades ahead of anything we've ever built. It was hidden here, Elena said. To protect it. Or maybe to bury it. On one side of the chamber was a machine hooked into a massive dish. It looked old, but not broken. What is this? Juno asked. Theo looked closer. It's a pulse generator. It doesn't send messages. It sends truth. What? Theo explained it's like a data wave. K-broadcast that breaks through false signals, like a virus but for lies. If we activate it, anyone listening will hear the real messages behind the fake ones. It can show other ships what's really happening. No filters, no control. Alina touched the side of the machine. That's why this station was erased. The Council couldn't let Earth have this. Theo powered it up. The generator hummed. "Where do we aim it?" he asked. Alina pointed out the window. "Everywhere." They fired the pulse. Didn't feel like much. Just a low vibration. In the floor, but minutes later, the effect was clear. Theo's console lit up, getting responses. "Alien ships are ... glitching. Losing command signals. And Commander, look at this." He turned the screen. It showed a ship from the Council's patrol fleet. Its weapons were powered down. The crew on board were transmitting a new message. "Rebellion confirmed. Earth is not the only target." "They saw it," Alina said. The signal worked. More messages came in. Ships from across nearby sectors were sending alerts. Not all were friendly, but they were confused. Waking up, asking questions. Something the Council had feared. Then a warning came from Orion's bridge. "Commander," a voice called through the comms, "the alien ship is back. And it's not alone." Alina turned to Theo. "How many?" He checked the scan. 3 ships. Big. They're locking on to us." Juno's voice came over the radio. "They're charging weapons." Theo looked up, panic on his face. "We can't jump again. The drive's cooling down. We're stuck." Alina looked at the old tech around her. The generator's still humming. It's the logs of people who had died trying to warn Earth, the hidden tools left behind and forgotten. "We're not stuck," she said. She turned to her team. "We fight." Back on Orion, she gave the order. "Shields up. Weapons online. Use the old station as cover." Theo stayed in the generator room, boosting the pulse signal again and again. "We might not win this," Juno said from her console. Lena stared at the alien ships closing in. "You don't have to win today," she said. "We just have to be loud enough." And as the first blast rocked the station, the truth of Earth, long buried, long silenced, was finally screaming across the stars. The first alien blast shook the station like a thunderclap. Panels fell from the ceiling, sparks flew, and the lights blinked in and out. The walls groaned under the pressure. Alina grabbed onto a rail and shouted through the comms, "Return fire! Hold them back!" Back on Orion, Juno fired the main cannons. The shots struck one of the Council ships, lighting up its shield in a flash of blue. The enemy ships circled fast, surrounding both Orion and the old station like vultures. Theo, deep inside the pulse chamber, kept boosting the signal. Again and again. "The more ships that see it, the better," he shouted over the noise. "If they hear the truth, they might stop fighting." But the enemy didn't stop. One of the ships fired a beam that sliced into the side of the station. The floor shook hard and Alina stumbled. Smoke filled the corridor. "We won't survive another hit like that," she said, coughing. Juno's voice came over the radio. "Commander, that ship's charging again." Alina looked at the systems Theo had found earlier. The weapons and tech too advanced for their time. "Can we use this old stuff?" she asked. Theo was. "Already pulling wires?" "Yes. But it's risky. Its power core is unstable. One wrong move, and the whole station could blow." Alina didn't hesitate. "Do it. Together." They rerouted the energy from the old generator. Theo's fingers moved fast. Sparks flew from every panel. The room glowed red as the core powered up. Back on the bridge, Juno saw a new weapon system come online. "Old railguns are operational," she said in surprise. "Then let's use them," Alina ordered. Juno aimed carefully and fired. A massive bolt of energy flew from the station, slamming into one of the alien ships. Shield collapsed, and the vessel spun off course, venting fire and smoke. One down, the others hesitated. That gave Theo a chance. He sent the strongest pulse yet, not just to nearby ships, but far, far beyond. Using the Council's own old networks, the signal jumped across systems. It carried the truth, the recordings, the intercepted messages, the lab footage, and the logs from the dead crew of the station. It went everywhere. Ships in distant systems picked up the wave. Pilots, soldiers, even scientists saw what Earth had uncovered. Then a strange thing happened. One of the council ships turned not toward Orion, but toward the others.
Out there.
Fighting each other, Juno said in shock. Alina watched as two alien ships exchanged fire. One had received the signal and turned against the others. Theo's screen lit up again. Commander, dozens of small ships are broadcasting support. Some of them are from council races. They're breaking ranks. The truth is spreading. Then, another alert. Incoming message from a new ship, not council. Human voice. This is Captain Lin of the Falcon's Reach. We received your transmission. We thought we were alone. We're here to help. Lena smiled. All across space, hidden colonies, lost ships, and rebel cells were waking up, many had suspected. The council's lies but had no proof. Now they did. A second blast hit the station, sending everyone to the floor. The last hostile ship was closing in, furious. Theo stood up, wiping blood from a cut on his head. Commander, the pulse core is unstable. It's overheating. Can we shut it down? She asked. He checked the console. Too late. If it overloads, it'll blow the station. Elena didn't blink. Then we evacuate. Get everyone. To Orion now, they moved fast. Wounded crew were helped aboard. Lena stayed until the last second, making sure everyone made it. Theo was the last one in. The airlock sealed and Orion pulled away just as the old station exploded. The shockwave rocked the ship, but the structure held. The blast wasn't just fire, it was light. One final pulse from the truth core spread through space like a beacon. It told everyone who was watching, Earth knew. Earth had survived, and Earth had spoken. Alina stood on the bridge, breathing hard. Status? She asked. Juno replied. Enemy ship retreating. Friendly signals increasing. Some are offering help. Theo slumped into a chair. We just lit the galaxy on fire. Alina nodded. Good. Now they'll see us. She looked out the viewport, where stars blinked like distant eyes. They wanted to keep us quiet, she said. But we're not quiet anymore. For the first time, Earth was not just a target, it was a voice. And that voice was rising. The days after the station explosion were a blur. Orion was badly damaged. Some systems were offline. Half the crew was hurt. But they were alive and no longer alone. More ships arrived. Some were human, some were alien. All had heard the truth broadcast from the dying station. Most came out of hiding. Some came full of questions. A few brought warnings that council forces were gathering, angry, ready to strike. Commander Alina Voss stood on the bridge of Orion, staring at the growing fleet on the main screen. They had no flag, no united name, but they had something stronger. Hope. Messages poured in from all directions. Rebellion on mining colonies. Soldiers refusing to fight. Blocked research. Entire worlds asking, what else have they hidden from us? The galaxy was waking up. And Earth, the world that had been kept silent for so long, was now leading the noise. Lena called a council meeting on Orion. Captains, leaders, rebels and scientists met in the cargo hold, now turned into a command room. She stood at the center with Theo by her side. We're not ready for a war, Alina said. Not yet. We can't stay quiet either. The council will strike again. We need to move fast. Captain Lin, the first to arrive after the pulse, stepped forward. What do you suggest? We make contact with every suppressed system we can, Alina said. We give them the truth. Then we let them choose. A tall, blue-skinned alien nodded. Some of our people have waited a long time for this moment. We'll join you. Others followed. They formed a loose alliance that day. No oaths. Grand ceremony. Just a simple agreement. Share the truth, protect each other, and never again be silenced. Theo worked night and day, building more truth beacons using parts from the old station. They hid them inside asteroids and shipping crates. Even inside music signals. Everywhere the council listened, they'd now hear the truth echoing back at them. Then came the warning. The council fleet was heading for Earth, not small patrols. A full invasion force. They want to crush the fire before it spreads, Captain Lin said grimly. Alina stood in the center of the bridge, calm but focused. Long until they reach Earth. For days, Theo replied. Maybe less. They had no time to build giant warships. It's no time to train armies. But they had something else, something the Council had never counted on. Each other. Messages flew across space. Earth scrambled to prepare. Satellites were turned into weapons. Hidden research teams finished designs they'd once buried. And from the shadows, the ships of the newly formed alliance began to gather. When the Council fleet arrived, they didn't find a weak, lonely world. They found a wall of ships waiting. Orion was at the front. Alina stood tall in her chair, staring down the massive enemy fleet. "They still think we're too primitive to fight back," Theo said quietly. "Let's prove them wrong," she replied. The first blasts lit up the darkness. Red, blue, and gold streaked across the stars. Earth's new allies fought side by side. Ships from old colonies, disguised vessels, even council ships that had switched sides. The battle was fierce. But something strange happened. As the fight went on, more enemy ships began hesitating. Some stopped firing. Others sent secret messages. They had seen the truth. The Council was losing control of its own. Alina gave one last order. Send the final pulse. All systems. Full strength. Theo activated the signal. It wasn't just data this time. It was voice. Elena's voice. "This is Commander Voss of Earth," it said. "We were lied to. Watched. Held back. No more. We are awake now. And we will not go back to sleep." The signal echoed across every channel. Some council ships powered down. Some turned around. The battle ended not in a single moment, but in silence. A silence that came when the last shot stopped and no one fired again. In the quiet, Earth stood tall. Weeks later, Alina stood before a gathering of worlds on a neutral station near the galactic core. No fancy robes, no crowns, just leaders, survivors, and believers. "We are not here to rule," she said. "We are here to restore choice, to share knowledge, to be free." The crowd stood. It was not just a victory for Earth, it was a beginning for everyone. As Theo looked out the window, watching the stars drift by, he whispered, "We were never alone. We were just waiting to be heard." And now the whole galaxy was listening.